Well, today we're going to totally geek out and do a highway mileage test run to see if tires actually affect the mileage performance of this 2010 Honda CR-V. Well, good day everybody. Coming to you today from this 2010 Honda CR-V in EX trim all-wheel drive, and this CR-V has nearly 200,000 miles on it. We've owned this for a few years now, and well, we have come to really love this car. Going to do a full review on this car, going to do a detail on this car, bring those in at a future date. But today we're going to do a daily motor inspired highway fuel mileage run, and we just put new tires on it. One thing that we've not been too happy about, if you got to complain about something, you always do, right, is the highway mileage. We've never been able to even get close to the EPA rating of 27, which is what the EPA says after all the adjustments over the years. We've never really could get more than 24, 25 it seems. So prior to getting these new tires, we took it out twice on two test loops. Our test loop is 111 miles. Most of that's highway driving, try to keep it right around 70 miles per hour. And on those two test loops with the older tires, this car got about 24 miles per gallon based on the pump, based on the refill at the pump. This car came with some really kind of bargain basement Doral tires when we bought it. We thought we were going to replace them. It's the kind of tire a dealer will put on there when they're trying to get through inspection and they don't want to spend a lot of money on tires. But after owning the car for a while, and especially after we had it in the snow, we were fine with the tires. They were 40,000 mile tires, and sure enough, we wore them out. And we always were suspicious about whether maybe the tires can affect the highway miles on this car. So again, before we got rid of those tires, took it out twice. So 220 miles round trip, and again about 24 miles per gallon. The trip computer said we got 26, so that was way off and can mislead you. So today we are riding on brand new Michelins. These are the Defender TH. It's a pretty high quality tire, 60,000 miles. So we think this may be the last tire that this car will ever need. So we're going to stop by the gas pump, fill her up just like Charlie style on the Daily Motor, and get out on our 111 mile test loop to see if these tires make a difference. It's a little cooler today. We already checked all the tire pressure. Tire pressure set at 30. Before we get started, if you like high quality commentary about regular cars owned by regular people, join us here on Beyond the Test Drive. We would love for you to subscribe, and if you get to the end of this and you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That would be great. So let's get to the gas station and get out on the highway. Okay, so hopping on the highway, we are about 4.4 miles from the gas station, and most of those miles are fairly highway speed, 50 to 60 miles per hour. So we'll get this out on the highway. This 2010 CR-V has that wonderful K24 engine. It's just so smooth. Just love to hear it rev. It's just kind of nice to get in a drive a non-turbo charged car every once in a while, just to hear the smoothness of this engine. This has the VTEC. It generates 180 horsepower, but all the way up at 6,800 RPM. That's just crazy when you think about it. And torque numbers are about 160 pound-feet, about 40-some hundred RPM. Again, this is not a quick car, but it's not too bad to wind out. It actually sounds pretty good. So we're gonna try to cruise here right around 70. Again, we got the GPS here to back us up, double check everything. So yeah, we'll keep cruising here around 70, and to turn around, we'll check in to see how we're doing. Okay, so we just went through our turnaround point, 55 some odd miles out. We're showing 56.8 miles on the trip computer. We're showing 56.6 on the GPS, so pretty close there. Traffic's been pretty heavy. So we may not be getting the average speed that we got on the prior 2 trips, but we'll see when we get back and fill it up. So 25.4, 25.5 on the trip computer at the turnaround. So it doesn't look like anything major difference with the tires. However, I will say these Michelins are a world of difference. They're night and day regarding ride comfort, expansion joints, bumpy pavement, and they're so much quieter. This is not a quiet cabin by no means, but these Michelins are, you know, it's a premium tire, and they are so much quieter. So it actually makes these driving on the highway much more tolerable. So kudos to the Michelins for making this a much more enjoyable highway ride. So let's go ahead and get it back to the gas station in 50 some odd miles from now and just see how we did. So in the name of science, we just did our third highway road trip test loop of 111 miles in the CR-V. And this one was the trip with the new tires. The trip computer is coming out at 26. The pump and tripometer calculation with 4.625 gallons. Let's see, 111 divided by 4.625. 24 miles per gallon. So all 3 trips are coming out about the same. But let's go dive into the numbers a little bit more.
Okay, so over here in the spreadsheet, we have all 3 trips. And here's those first 2 trips on those bald Doral tires. 70, roughly the same temperature, pretty warm, 70 and 61. Average speed about the same on those 2 trips. And here is the results. Roughly 23.7 and 24.4. So 24 miles per gallon for those first 2 trips. The trip computer said 26, or, you know, if you average or round that down or up. Today's trip on these brand new Michelins, a little bit cooler at 45 degrees Fahrenheit. A little bit slower average speed due to a little bit more traffic, and but the results are about the same at 24 miles per gallon and 26 on the trip computer. Both of these are right in between those first 2 trips. So for all intents and purposes, no found difference just based on the tire. So basically this, as suspected, this CR-V gets roughly 24 mpgs on the highway, and the EPA says 27. But again, this CR-V has about almost 200,000 miles, so you wouldn't expect it to be as efficient as when it was new. But these Michelin tires, though, were definitely an upgrade with, you know, better ride quality and definitely a quieter ride also.
There you have it. So thanks a lot for coming along today on this non-scientific fuel economy test. And if you own one of these CR-Vs, we'd love to hear about your experience with it, especially in the highway mileage category. We are going to put out a couple more videos on this specific 2010 EX, so consider subscribing and definitely give us a like if you found this at all useful. So again, thanks for watching and have a great day, morning or evening, wherever you are.